All right. Where's the sign that is recording? I see it now. All right. So let's talk about then this 3.3, which is the for loop. The list and the range, we're going to do chess a little bit more practice. So we're going to use the visualizer. And then we're going to be doing this. You need to turn this in by the end of the period or the day if you have to wrap up the last things that maybe you didn't have enough time to do it in class. So whenever I do that, so let's click over here, right? Whenever I ask you to work in class, I want you to do that. So you should have either Idle app or Ripple and Replit, actually. So you can work with me, or I tell you, well, copy this onto your um, IDE. So let's take a look at what is in here. We have a whole bunch of things. Scroll down, right? And as you can see, we actually do a lot of game-based type of testing, if you want to call it. I don't know if that's true, but we actually uh, like to see what range can do. And also we introduce very informally and friendly what a list is. So I'm in need of a, let's take a look at the visualizer, what we can do with the visualizer. Let's take a look at we can take. So if you click on that link over here, right? Mm, 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 Let's take a look at what's happening over here. First of all, we have over here a backslash n. Anybody knows what that is? Is a way to pause this. No. I don't know how to pause this. Oh, it doesn't. I got it. All right, so let's go back over here. And what is happening in this is kind of hidden over here, right? I kind of created a little too much condensed. So I'm going to take this right here. Oh, okay. This one is better. All right. So let's take this line over here. We're going to go back to the other one in a minute. Let's take this line of code. Let's go to the visualizer. Everybody is with me? If you don't say anything, I'm going to believe that you do have exactly what I do. So go back over here and let's see, why do we want a visualizer? What does it do? Don't we have enough already, like Replit and all those things? There we go. Here we have a range between 0 and 10, meaning it's going from 0 to what? Anybody knows? Actually, let's print what this is. So let's visualize execution. Today, nobody's going to talk. What is it in the string? Oh yeah, what am I missing? Take a look. Why is that there?
I think it's missing the second
Yeah, the
location.
first. Wait, doesn't it mean the first? I think it's missing this one over here because this is what you see over here is a message, I believe. I
On
think,
the first line, it's missing the, after
yeah,
these are both equivalent, it's missing the second
yeah.
quotation.
Look, there we go. I should do it. Let's see. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, thank you. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. What? That was from the error before. Okay, how does this work? So here we have a message on the top, and take a look at the left side, how it's actually showing you the execution of the steps as they actually take place. And you can use the next, or you can go to previous, you can go to last, you can do a whole bunch of things. You can speed it up, or you can let it run completely. So next one will be to print the range. Print this message over here. So if I look at this message, it's creating something called a list. And I think I have a lot of students over here that already know what this is. Take a look. We have what it looks to me a series of numbers from 0 through 9, all nicely organized in order. And it is wrapped, the sequence of numbers is wrapped with square brackets. Take a look at that on both ends. And each of those numbers is separated with a comma. That's what we call a list. So it wasn't that impressive. This visualizing this was not that impressive, right? Because all it did is just show us pretty much the message. So we need something more interesting. So let's see if we can find. So here is what we call a list. And I know that many of you already been talking about how to use this. Um, it becomes more interesting when we have a for loop. Here it is. Because it's going to give you a nice dynamic show. So I'm going to take this one. And this one, I would like somebody to tell me what the range is going to be. Now let me clear this if I know how to do that. Edit this code. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm gonna start with this one. So what's the range over here? Who can tell me? It goes from 1, because the first one is inclusive, up to what?
10.
10, yes. Press enter. And let's go back and let's pick up the next line. And it's going to do something that I did very similar at one point, right? But let's see how it works. We don't need the comment, right? Hold on. Zoom is blocking me. Stop doing that. I have to move this down, I guess. 1 and 2. There we go. So if I go over here, let's see what the visualizer does, because that's the best part, right? So here we go. And take a look at here. Take a look at what the information is giving you as it's actually moving around. So it starts with the 4 over here, right? And it's going to come to the next line. It's ready to execute this line. So I'm going to say next. And it's going to print what the counter has. Counter right here is the number 1 right here. It is. This is the output. Here they call it the global frame because later on when we do more nested things, more extra things in there, then it will have other frames. So again, goes up to the top to the for loop, and it picks up the next value in that sequence that you saw of the range. And now it's going to print whatever counter picked up from this range, and it's going to be a 2. So you can see how that works. You can visualize it, how it's actually moving around. Take a look at the execution, how it goes, and let's take a look at what's going to happen when we get to, so far it's 7, 8, 9. So it's taking each of those numbers from the range into the counter, and we can look at it. We can actually look into it. Of course, we can do this in one shot by just running a program, but here we actually can see the actual sequence of executions. Got to 10, got 10, print the 10, and now what's going to happen? It's finished. There's nothing left. All right, so this is what the output looks like. Wait, but there are different things over here. We can actually do things differently. So what I want you to do is the following. And if I go to here, it says work on parts A through E. So create a file called list underscore range. And actually you're going to be putting all of these A through E in there. All of that has to be in, hopefully, it shouldn't take long, but if you have any questions, this will be the time to do that. Before we let you work on your own, I do want to show you something about lists. So you get a little bit more comfortable because most of this is going to be related to the range. And so I am going to say a list. So a list is nothing more, like I said before, it's a sequence of numbers. And I can put any numbers over here. I have to always separate it with commas and right here. And if I say a list, now there's to store my list of whatever I put in there. In this case, it's integers. I would like to print each element of it. So how do I print each element of it? Would anybody tell me how to print the first one over here? I want to print the first one. So what should I put in here? Print what? Come on, I know a lot of you know this.
You do one A list.
But get close. First, the name of the list. That's first. Next, we're not going to count from one. We're going to count in programming. We start counting always from, anybody knows?
0.
0, that's right. Always counting from 0. That's why even the range is kind of shifted. If you say a range of 10, it's going to go from 0 through 9 because that's 10 elements, right? So how do I call the first one? Then I use the brackets. And the number you just told me is what we call the index. So if I put a 0 over here, not the 1, because we don't count from 1 anymore in programming, then it should give me a 4, and there it is. We can actually have, then we can have like a for loop, right? We can say counter, for counter, in range. Oh, no, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, and list. Oh, wait. I cannot tell you that because I had to tell you length first. Length of list. So len is a function that tells you how many elements are in there. And now I'm going to say print, and it's going to have how many elements? Does it have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements? So it's going to count from 0 through 4. So now I can put it in here, a list, and in square brackets, I'm going to put counter. Because just like I access the first element with 0, we can access each of them with whatever counter will beginning from. I think I forgot something here. I don't know if that's going to work because I think I'm missing one little thing over there. Yeah. Okay, hold on. So I'm going to bring back this over here, and I need to put over here range. There you go. That should do it. What did I forget? Nobody said anything. I thought so many of you know this. There you go. So length tells you how many elements a list has. We know that it's 5 of them. So it's going to go from 0 through 4. And the in range always needs to have, whenever you try to get information from that, you need that range in there. Remember how in the front, on the top, I didn't put the range? You need that range over there. And everything has to always be inside parentheses. All right, so this is all I wanted to tell you while you're working on A through E of this over here. And I'm going to stand here and see if anybody has any questions on what we've done. And I'm going to stop recording. So I'm gonna open a new file and I'm going to call it just like it says over there in my, there we go. Look for the same place where we were. We had been keeping all the stuff, my Python programs, basic instructions unit 1, and I'm gonna call that um, hmm, what was it called? Dang it. This range. I'm not sure why it's not picking it up, but your initials, I'll make sure you had that big Y. Okay, now A, what's an A? It says write the numbers right here. So you don't need a lot, you don't need the documentation that we always been doing because this is nothing more than a practice. And I'm gonna put over here, this one. So I want you to actually put in here, you do need your name though, over here. So when I open the actual file, I know who. So there, and here, put the code over here. And then you go on to the next one, which it will be B. I presume you're working on this while I'm doing this. And I think I gave you the solutions. I can do this one. So if I put this over here, I don't know how this is going to copy properly because of the indentation sometimes is fuzzy about it, but I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. I'm going to run it. Yeah, there you go. And what I want you to do is copy this and put it in your program. Right here. I want a nice file that you're going to copy and paste with all this information. There you go. And so on. Go to B, C, D, and E. And it should not take you long. And hopefully you have any questions for me. I'm going to finish adding the rest that you're supposed to be doing yourself. Pay attention to the range arguments. Remember the first time we saw range, we only had one argument. Here we have two arguments. In B, we have more than two arguments. It says from A to 2 in increments of -1. That means that it's going to go down. And here it is. So I want you to do that. Actually, yeah, I'll take the comment over here too. There you go. So I will take this over here and I will put it in here and comment it out. I think I'm going to add a couple of lines. Print. Only because I like it to look a little bit better. This is B. Anybody has any questions so far?
When we put in the output, do you want us to like section it off, like say what the A output is and then the B, or should we just do all of it in one at the end?
I have been doing it, look, the way I'm doing it. As I write it, I put it underneath. So you know, you don't have to go fishing for the which one correspond to which one.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And
Zalia,
yeah,
when I do the summation thing, it says sum of all integers from 1 to 10 is, and then it says built-in function with like the,
oh, we
what are the
need we need to
arguments?
import math, I think. Yep. Let's see. Let's go there. What is that? D.
Yeah, D.
Okay, let me do D. Good questions. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for questions. Summation is the summation. I believe we're gonna need to import math.
Miss Elia,
Yes.
change like the sum to like summa or something, SUMA instead of the SUM, and it worked. So I'm not sure whether.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Who was that? Julia? Who said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Put the A over here. There's an error over here. I have to change it myself. So we don't need to import anything. That makes sense. She had a point over here. So I can fix that, but put an A over there. So I'm gonna do that right now in my file. Very good. Thank you. You caught an error over there.
I did that and it still says now it says the sum is 10 from like sum of all integers from 1 to 10 is 10.
Okay, let's take a look.
No, right?
Right, that's number. No, that cannot be it. Make sure that you copy and paste it from the website.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's run it. No, I got 55. Take a look.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay, so let's look at it again. So the only error I had in my original code is that here should be an A. That's all. Instead of sum, it should be some A. Okay. The rest, make sure
Oh,
that, okay, make sure you copy and paste everything good, properly, just the way it is. And please go to this line and put an A in there. It should be just like this one over here. I'm gonna put the output over here.
yeah, I got
And
it.
very nice. Yeah, I know that this works because I've done this before. I'm not sure how I lost that thing over there. So this is the output. I'm gonna make sure that I comment it out. That was summation D. All right, keep on going. See if you find any other mistakes over here. Yeah, I have it over here again. I'm gonna fix it right now. So as you can see, you only have a few left to go, right? You finish this up while I'm fixing my website. I had it up before, so maybe I can find it, maybe not. I want to make sure that you had something to turn in for today. I like to see a product out of what we do. So I have an idea of how you're doing. I think if you just copy and paste it and run it, you definitely got um, this going. There's one more thing you have to do. Submit this, right one, the one when you finish with all the output and everything, copy and paste it, and then try to do this factorial. And some of you had asked me for moving on. And so there is no doubt that you can move on. Let's take a look at this.
Is the factorial submitted in this assignment or that's separate?
Well, you're going to submit this one, right? And the same post right here, submit again the factorial.
Okay.
There is unlimited number of submissions for you guys. So you can have layers of it. It keeps, it's like a revision control. So it keeps everything that you have in there that you submit. So I'll be able to see it. I'll be looking for both. This module is loaded with a lot of stuff. So you definitely can continue working on this on your own. I'll take a look at the due dates. So that means that's my goal, to get up to here by November 10th. Let's see. What I wanted to do was, Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Look, there is factorial post over here. Who was asking me that question before? The factorial question. There is a post right here for factorial.
Okay, so that's a separate assignment then?
Yeah, take a look. Yes,
Thank
I
you.
did that. You're welcome. Let's see, what's in this one? So if you click on the ones that I dedented, you will get lots of new web pages with more information. This is the while random roll one die. And so you have a lot of more stuff that you can continue working on. Here's the while loop. So in this one, we learned how to use the while loop over here. The while loop is only checking that a condition is being met right here. As opposed to the for loop, you have to have a for, let's say, for counter in range number. Here, all we have to do is to see if the condition is met. So if I was going to use a while loop over here, am I recording? Yes, good. I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna say I equals to 0. And I'm gonna say while I less than, let's say 10. Don't forget the semicolon, right? I'm sorry, the colon over here. That's going to give you the indentation. We can say I I times, wait, I can say I equals, I don't think you guys learned to the +1, right? We're going to learn that at a different time. +2. There we go. Press enter, and I can say print I. Press enter twice, and there it is. So the while loop is going to be executing the body of it, which is these 2 lines, as long as the condition is met. I is less than 10. At this point, the last time, right, it was 8. So when it added 2, it became 10. And when you compare it here, I was 10, and 10 is not less than 10. 10 is equal to 10. So the condition was not met anymore, and it fell right through and finished executing. So here you have an interesting program that you can use to learn how to use the while loop. Make sure that you import the random, because here you're going to be asked to do this. Questions? And you have to answer these questions over here. So what else do you need to know from here? We know everything else in here. Take a look. Do you think there is anything in here that we haven't used yet? And you would not know how, oh, the +1. That's what I wanted to know, if you guys knew how to do that. So let's talk about that. What's the value of I over here? It's 10. Take a look over here what I did. I did I is equal to I plus 2, right? This means that I will be incrementing I by 2. So if I have I equals to 0 again, let's reset it. I'm going to say I is equal to whatever I has plus 2. Now if I put a 1, now if I put I, it's going to give me a 1. I can actually simplify that addition. And it's just like the way you see it right here. I can say, instead of doing I equals to I plus 1, I can say I plus equal 1. And I should give me a 2. There you go. Or I can say I times equals 3. That should give me a 6. So this is the modified assignment operator. So you put 2 operations into 1. You can also say I divided by 2. And what do you think it's going to give me? Nobody's going to tell me? What could it be? What is it?
Half
What number was that?
0.5.
Wait a minute. It was a 3. It's a 6 divided by 2 is 3.0, right? Hey, wait a second. So I can do I times equals 2 again, right? So now we have a, right? Can I do this? Can I do this? Let's see what it gives me. I see if it does go. No, it doesn't do it in integer conversion. But if I had, J is another one that we like to use for while loops and for loops. Let's say I do, oh yeah, let me first you have to initialize it. You cannot use the modified operators if the variable doesn't have already in it a value. So I'm gonna say equals to 1. I'm gonna start J from 1. And I'm gonna do J, where are you? Times equaled, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, right? 5. So J should be 5. And then I'm gonna do the same thing again, recall it. And then if I place J, it's 25. Now let's do the following. J integer division equals to 5. What is that gonna give me?
5.
Yes. Yes, there it is. It didn't give me, remember when we did that before, it gave me 3.0, gave me a decimal. Since we're doing an integer division, it gave me a 5, an integer. So let's do that. Let's do this one again. So it's going to be back to 25, right? And now let's do decimal division. So we're going to say divided by J divided by 5. And it should give me now 5.0. And there it is. Okay, so those are what we call it implicit conversions. It did it automatically. Okay. Okay, so I want you to, I think, let's take a look at the due date for this one. So you do need to do some work on your own. October 27, that will be tomorrow. So we finished, I believe the factorial, you can do that very easily because just like the summation, it will be instead of summation is product over here. And then you can do this one over here. If we go to the website over here, it's going to ask you to answer these questions. What else can you do on your own? We had 3 minutes to talk about what I want you to work on your own. And for that, I want you to look at the due dates. Here's the random module. Here's one die. And I give you lots of information already in there. And then when we meet, we're going to talk about the rest. If you want to keep on going, moving ahead, you can do that. Everything in here is pretty much very well contained. So you should be able to answer all those questions. We are going to talk about flowcharts. So I'm going to be asking you to continue a flowchart. We're going to do it together. If you, or you can get started if you want to. And no, I didn't mean to do that. I think I have something in here. Hold on. Here. I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. If you click on this one, when we get to more control structures, then you're going to have a whole bunch of little things that you're going to find them interesting. And here is the different shapes for a flowchart. So, questions, anybody?
Miss Elia,
Yes, I'm listening.
for the factorial submission, there's not a text box entry. like possible.
Oh my God. Okay, let me fix that right away. Thank you for telling me this now. Factorial right here. Oh yeah, look at that. Totally forget that. And that's unusual because that's the one that I like the most. And I'm gonna put this one. Usually that's what I give everybody. Thank you for telling me. There you go. You can refresh your browser and it should be available now. Let me stop recording.